Peace and welcome to another live recording of the Infinite Sisterhood. I am the eldest sister, none other than yours truly, Queen Mother, Mrs. Lacey Taylor. And next, I'm going to slide it over to our middle sister, aka the second sister in line, Empress Dom.
Greetings, everyone. It's Dom, the Empress, the Emperor, the future, and the present. So I hope that you guys are ready for today. I hope you enjoyed last week's. But I'm gonna pass it over to Amber, and we'll get more into that.
Hey guys, it's Ams. I'm so happy you guys made it back to another episode of Infinite Sisterhood. I can't wait to get in this topic and let us share more about our lives with y'all.
Yes, so without further ado, we're going to jump right into this episode. And you remember last week, we talked about building a solid foundation. We talked about, the key components of what it means to build a solid sisterhood foundation that's going to be tried and true and last throughout, to the end of time. But today, we're going to dive a little further into the meat and potatoes, the bones, the cornerstone of, what it truly means to have a solid sisterhood. And that is trust. But without trust, you can't have loyalty. Because, sisters, I hear a lot of people saying, I'm loyal, but I just don't trust them, or she's loyal, or I don't trust her, or I'm loyal, but they just don't trust me. How y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like you're not really loyal if that's the case, because people have a sixth sense of this, and you can pick up on people's energy. So like for me, if I pick up on somebody's energy as not being loyal, like shady, I'm going to hold back and keep it to myself, because if they are disloyal to you, that means they can probably go around talking about you behind your back, just running your name in the mud and smile your face. So like when I hear that from people, I just keep a mental note and I keep my distance. Give me 50 feet. That's it. Yeah. Period.
I would say that learning the difference between trust and loyalty, and learning that one begets the other. That was a very real lesson that I learned straight out of high school. Like my first step into the real world, I learned that one begets the other. And I learned that people who can't trust anyone or trust people outside of a certain group of people, you're not going to have their loyalty, at all. Like Amber said, some people, they can be disloyal to you, and then they lose that trust. But if someone doesn't trust you, they will not be loyal to you. And that goes a lot deeper than just like, oh, I'm trusting you with my secrets. But no, do you trust me with your feelings? Do you trust me with your heart? Do you trust me with uh your person, your being, that like anytime that you're with me, that I'm not going to put you in a situation that's going to harm you, type trust. And when you have trust that is deep in that sense, that's when you see loyalty and see what real loyalty looks like. But like I said, I learned a really hard lesson, but we'll get into that. But go ahead.
So I'm gonna just go around the table and ask, what does loyalty look like to you? Because loyalty looks different to a lot of people. To some people, loyalty can look like, making sure, I've eaten. Ask me if I've eaten. Or loyalty can look like, well, if I don't, deal with this person, you shouldn't deal with this person. That's actually a part of loyalty that I see. Like, that's what loyalty looks like to me. Like, if I don't deal with somebody, you shouldn't deal with them, because if they screw me over, sis, they gonna screw you over too. You know what I'm saying? But just back to loyalty, like they hurt me, you know? And that's what a facet of loyalty looks like to me. So anybody could go next.
I'll step in. Um, to me, loyalty is, at the end of the day, if all we had was our 2 feet, are you gonna still be beside me? Like if I ain't got 2 nickels to my name and all I got, like I said, is my 2 feet. I ain't got no car. I ain't got a reasonable job. Are you still gonna be? Am I still gonna look to my left or my right and see you right there? Um, and like I said, that lesson of loyalty and trust, it came from a childhood relationship, but then it came from also the beginning of my first adult relationship, where I had to really say, like, okay, what is loyalty? What does loyalty look like to me? And I found that answer that I gave right there is just what loyalty has always meant to me. And that's what I know, Amber, you can personally attest to, um, of like at the end of the day, ride or, not to be more, but ride or die type. That's loyalty. Like, I'm not gonna let you be out here pounding pavement by yourself. I'm not gonna be out here panhandling by yourself, or whatever hustle you take on to make some bread, make some money. For those of you who don't understand what I mean when I say bread, but are you gonna be by my side? You gonna be there hustling with me. You gonna hold me down. You gonna like figure out ways with me. You're not just gonna sit there and look at me like, what us gonna do? But it's more like, what are we gonna do? Like, what can I do? Not asking the person outside of yourself that question, but thinking to yourself like, okay, what can we do together, or what can I do to add whatever value that we need in that situation?
Well, I'm a Taurus, so loyalty to me is similar to Dom's, but a little bit different. And it's different for different people. It just depends on the kind of relationship I have. So if it's a romantic relationship, I'm like, Dom, if I only have 2 feet and nothing else, would you still be by me? Would you still rock with me and love me and hold me down, but lift me up? But for like my siblings, like my sisters, my friendships, loyalty is just basically, can I divulge my secrets to you, and they'll stay between us, and like just keeping it real with me, even though I may not want to hear it. Just basically having my best interests at heart. And also ride or die, like as Dom said, it's just like, like if I say I'm for you, I'm for you. Nothing's going to move me or shake me, and doesn't matter like things may seem like I'm not going anywhere. Like I would choose you over anybody else at the end of the day, period. Because that's the Taurus in me. That is, once I'm for you, I'm always for you to the day I die. Unless you screw me over and then you're dead to me. But that's here nor there. But yeah, but that's what loyalty means to me. But usually people I'm loyal to, like, it will be a lifetime thing. So yeah, that's how I see it.
Likewise, sister. And what we're doing right now, welcome to everyone who's just now tuning in. Today's topic, we're talking about loyalty and trust, the cornerstones of a solid foundation in sisterhood. And right now we're going around the table and we're talking about what loyalty looks like to us. And what loyalty looks like to me, like I mentioned before, is if I don't deal with somebody, you shouldn't deal with that person. And another part of loyalty, like Amber said, is I should be able to tell you, the deepest, darkest pits of my soul and know that it won't see the light of day. the day where, the day when I knew that, yes, sir. The day that I knew that my loyalty really meant nothing to someone who I thought was my best friend. We almost made 20 years of friendship. But because of my loyalty to her, I let her know, like, this is what's going on. I don't do these people. So when you come around, just know, if they're around, don't invite me. I was real with her. I was loyal to her because I'm like, I'm your friend. And because of my loyalty, because I love you, and because I have your best interest, and because I'm not going to come around these people and act a donkey, which at that time I was liable to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it is. Long story short, child, my sisters know the story, but I'm going to share with y'all. Long story short, the same best friend who I had told so many things to went to the people who did not deal with me and I did not deal with them, and told them some things that I had only told her. That right there was when I knew that my loyalty meant nothing to her. And if it meant nothing to her at that moment, then I'm going to be real, as I always am. It never meant anything to her from the get-go. I'm going to tell you right now, these two sisters you see here on this screen accompanying me today, it don't matter, how many times we fall out or if we fall out. That'll never happen. But if we ever fell out, my sisters wouldn't speak on the things that I asked them not to speak on. My sisters would not divulge anything that I did, that I asked them not to divulge, because that's loyalty. Loyalty is saying, my sister, whether it's your biological sister, your sister by friendship, your best friend, your cousin who's like a sister, my sister over anything. It's that bond. You know what I'm saying? That bond is something that it can't be replaced. It can't be matched. How y'all feel about that? Have y'all ever been hurt in that capacity, where you told somebody something that you were loyal to and you thought they were loyal to you, and they just threw you under the bus? Go ahead, Sister Amber.
Girl, well, y'all know me, like I said, me being a Taurus, I don't be trusting people. Okay? So it's a long way before I say, yeah, I really trust this person. So no, I haven't experienced what you experienced, Sister Lacey, like with your best friend and being almost 20 years. But I do feel like, because you showed loyalty to her, and if she was a real loyal friend or loyal to you, she would show you loyalty back to you. Like, as when you're saying that, don't bring these certain people around me because I don't mess with them. She should have been loyal to you and done
Right.
that. So she really never was loyal to you to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And let me tell you, Peace Queen Maisha, she just tuned in. But my sisters, especially Dom, she had told me that she was not good for me. But I tried to look beyond it, child. And that's another thing. When your sisters are loyal to you, they're gonna be like, nah, she ain't right. Mm-hmm. It's nothing, based off jealousy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, we want what's best for one another. Like, from friends to spouses to jobs to everything your aspect. Because I say I love you and I ride for you, like, to the end, till these wheels fall off. I mean that. And so I know for my sisters, and it's really for all my siblings, like, I want the best of the best for them. And that goes in every aspect that I just mentioned. And that's, for me, that shows loyalty to you guys, to all my siblings, individual, especially my sisters. Like, because if anything pop off, guess whose side I'm at? You know what I'm saying? Anywhere.
And we know this.
Anytime. What? Okay. It's like, just a call. Write me a letter. Okay? I'll memorize that letter.
Send me a telegram. I'm there. Okay?
Send the Raven. I'll be on my way.
Okay. Make sure they don't eat the paper.
My airplane. Like, Anita Baker. You can reach me by tail. Oh, airplane. You can reach me by sailboat.
It's real because I mean, but like we said, you can't have loyalty without the trust. You can't. So let's talk about a time where our trust was broken. Like you see, with the issue that I had with my, previous best friend, the loyalty was broken, hence the trust was broken. But does anybody have a time a where trust was broken, where they felt like, well, they felt dumb, they felt like a fool for trusting that person?
Girl, girl. This is why I need to write my book. I have felt dumb enough for the next 100 years. I don't need to feel this dumb no more. Like I don't the amount of lessons I've learned from the situations I put myself in, it need to be a life for dummies type ish. Like this is what you should expect uh to happen if you do this. But my trust my trust was completely broken, and like my sisters, like we just said, like if we feel like somebody's not right for you, or we feel like somebody isn't looking out for your best benefit, my sister's gonna call it out. And just like for them, I'm gonna call it out, and Amber gonna call it out. For Amber, we gonna mean Lacey, we gonna call it out. Whatever, we gonna call it out. We gonna say it, and we gonna be square with it, and that's just on that. But as I mentioned earlier, that I experienced having to learn the difference between loyalty and trust, and learning that one begets the other. That came from two relationships. One was a friendship, the other was a romantic relationship. And in the romantic relationship, right in the beginning, like I think we was like 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 months in, and my sister Lacey, you came to me and you said, Dominique, this person not right for you. This person don't have your best interest. This person is not down for you. And me with my nose wide open, I'm looking at my sister like, bruh, I literally just told you how deep I was feeling this person. Like I told you that, like, man, I think I'm in love. Stupid. I think I'm
No,
in
you
love.
weren't
No, no,
stupid,
no.
sister.
You know what? I wasn't stupid for believing that I was in love. I was stupid for not realizing that y'all always gonna have my back in that moment. Like it was a real test. Like I didn't immediately look at her, like look at the girl I'm dating crazy and be like, you know what, bitch, I shouldn't trust you because my sister said she don't trust you. But then I was looking at you like, bitch, what are you doing? You trying to ruin this relationship for me?
Right. And that's how it can come off.
And it definitely can come off, and there's so much passion behind each and every one of us and what we do for each other, that if you really feel like this person's not writing, like this person ain't the one, it's like lioness. We're like it's coming out. It's like, nah, you ain't going down this road. Over my dead body, you fall into this trap.
Yeah.
And that's not something I realized in the moment. But I will say, after you pointed that out, sister, and we talked about it, and we talked about it extensively, I understood what you were coming from. And not but maybe 8 months later, it literally showed me why you said that. But me being in the place I was, being in the unhealed space, being in a broken space, where feeling like this is the best I could do, I stayed for many years. But I am an overcomer. Okay. And I have overcome those feelings, and that mindset, and that state of being, to where I now know what I deserve. And y'all met briefly what I'm working with right now, and y'all see the difference. You know, I'm choosing different
Surely
because
do.
I'm different. Think about that. I'm choosing different because I'm different. You know, we we think about, like I said, I could write a book on all the dumb stuff I've done, or just the crazy things that I've done, the situations I put myself in, and I moved that way because I was in that state of mental state of being. When you change how you view life, how you perceive yourself, and how you know yourself, you make different decisions. So Dominique right now would never have chosen that person to spend 8 years of knowing this person, but 6 years on and off. I would have never ever gotten as deep as I did. Go ahead, sister.
And I just wanted to add, so like when I did come to my sister and I told her, the first time, like, I don't like this person's not right, I didn't know exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that, the Infinite Sisterhood that we good for is discernment. We're great when it comes to discerning, especially, the ones that we love, for the ones that we love, and sometimes we might not be able to see it for ourselves, but if we allow someone else's eyes to look on it, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe if someone else's eyes don't even look on it, it's just something that they feel within themselves. But like I was saying, like when I came to her, I told her, I was like, I don't know what it was, but then it was revealed. But then it was not too long after, before it was revealed, I had told her, I was like, this person is dealing with manipulation. And that person had came out and told her that she was good at manipulating people.
Not the manipidip.
Manipidip. She's a manipidip.
She sure was, child.
Manipidipper.
Sure was. And it was just like when she opened her mouth and said that, I immediately thought of Lacey, and I think I called you not too long after she said that. Excuse me, I'm about to cuss again. She said that to me. I called you and I said that, and even though we had already patched up what the intensity that was between us, I apologized again because it was just like, bro, she legit revealed what you was saying.
Right. And the thing is, she didn't even try to, tiptoe around it. I'm looking at the comments. Queen Maisha said it's a blessing to have this in our lives. Yes, it is, because let me tell you, we could be, those sisters who just, well, I'm gonna let her figure it out on her own. If she don't see it, then oh well. This ain't my life. Da, 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 da. No, I'm gonna say what it is, especially if I feel it. I call this my shondo, okay? Get it from my big brother Timothy. When I feel it in my shondo, I speak on it, and I felt it all up in here. And I'm just like, sister, she's not right. And at first I didn't know why, but then it was revealed to me she's a manipulator. She's going to manipulate you. And then she came out and told my sister that. But if it weren't for my loyalty to my sister, I could have easily been like, well, you know what? No, I'm not trying to break up what she got. She seems really happy. She just told me she's in love. Da, 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 da. But is that truly loyalty? If I just brush it off, I brush that intuition off. If I just say, well, she gonna have to figure it out, is that loyalty? Is that loyalty? No, that's not loyalty at all. Because of the loyalty I have for my sister, I don't want to see my sister hurt. I don't want to see my sister, deeply saddened and, darn near depressed. I don't want to see that. I want my sister happy. I want my sister thriving, And just like my sisters want to see me happy, they want to see me thriving. They let me know, like, Lacey, this ain't gonna last. And I can be like, yeah, whatever. She don't know. But at the end of the day, sister, you were right. Listen, I'm good for coming back and apologizing, just like Ams is, just like Dom is. One thing I can say, we're not too proud to apologize. But that's loyalty. Because I want to see my sister happy. Go ahead, Am.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, sister, that when you say you're not too proud to apologize, some people are. Like, I just can't, like, reiterate enough how many people I've met that they don't have a good relationship with their sisters or any of their siblings, and they just attract people outside of their family. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. And I understand some families can be toxic. Yet, it's just, I don't know, it's just something about us that in our spirits that we were just determined to work together and to try to be better. And because we worked on our sisterhood, we worked with our brothers as well and trying to obtain that same thing as we have here and what we do in our other relationships, in our lives. But yeah, like, that's all I wanted to say. And oh yeah, and I also want to say this, that I've learned from y'all too, especially about, and me too, but y'all issues with different relationships, and then we're telling you guys one thing, y'all not listening, and seeing how it ends up. As I said, I'm not trustworthy of people, anywho, but I know whenever I do get in a new relationship with anyone, and if my sisters are saying, yeah, Anz, I don't think this person's right for you, or nah, I'm gonna listen to them, because as I told them many a times, I trust them. Between these two people, they can pick out the perfect man for me, like, hands down, and everything from head to toe.
She speaks no lies. She speaks no lies.
Because they know not to try me. Because if they try me, I'm gonna give them one look, and they know what that look means. You tried my whole soul, okay? But but that's all I wanted to say. And it's just, I just love the relationship that we built with one another and we continue to build. And I feel like as we're entering this new chapter in our lives, that we're just continuing to grow together. And like Lacey said, we're never going to fall out. And I really believe that, because even when we have an argument, what do? We apologize. We talk it out. And I feel like the longest I didn't talk to y'all after we had an argument was probably like a day or two. That's probably like the longest I can remember. I can't remember anything else longer, because I just cannot not talk to y'all.
I just wanted to say something, sister. So growing up, I remember, like, when we would get into an argument, and I know for me how I would start back talking to my sisters. I could be like, you want some food? Or like, so what do you think about this? As if nothing just didn't happen. As if I just didn't cuss you out.
Try to talk with attitude.
You beat me up.
Try to talk like you mad, like you got attitude.
Okay.
No. And I was good for explaining why I didn't want to talk to you and why I felt this way. But that I understand why you could feel how you felt, even though I don't feel that way. But
yes.
Let me just address the little baby in the room. I just want to take him and hold him and squeeze him and kiss him. He's so precious. Yes, you are precious. Hi. Hi, handsome. I'm sorry, y'all. I saw him. I was just like, oh.
She loves her nephew.
I do.
She loves her nephews and her niece.
Yes.
But Queen Maisha, she said being willing to apologize is powerful. Queen, you listen, that is the most powerful thing that a human can possess, because when you're able to apologize, you're able to say, you know what? I know that I was not right. I know I was wrong. And I'm asking for you to forgive me.
Can I take it a step further?
Go take it further, sister. Go ahead.
In order for you to be forgiving, you got to learn to forgive yourself. You got to see that, like, you yourself are a flawed human being. You are capable of having grace. You're capable of being so graceful that you can say, I was wrong, and I know that I'm wrong, and I forgive myself for treating you that way. And I hope you can forgive me too.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And also, if you have wronged your sister, or if your sister has wronged you, go to your sister, because there's a book that says if you have an ought against your brother, go to your brother. If your sister hurt you, or you know what I'm saying, and you want that relationship, go to your sister. But also know that there are boundaries, because my loyalty ain't no fool. My trust ain't no fool. Burn me once, that shame on me. burn me twice. That's shame on me double times. Okay. Because you burn me in the first place. But that's a part of learning.
She said double time. I'm sorry, I can't with you.
That's part of learning, you know, but you got to know your boundaries. Like, it's okay to go and ask for forgiveness just to clear your conscience. You know what I'm saying? Because when you transition, you don't want nothing holding you back. But know your boundaries. You know, I had a sister come to me and tried to come back in my life, you know, after, you know, she had done the absolute most. And, you know, knowing, you know, my definition of sisterhood and what I expect from my sisters, me and my sisters communicate. And if we're not communicating, we're telling you why we're not communicating right now. Sis, if you did that once, you're going to do it again. I don't have the time, nor do I have the energy. Because, I mean, if you follow me, you know, I'm a whole homemaker. I'm a whole mother. I homeschool. I'm a business owner. I don't have time for foolishness. You know, I made a TikTok today. If you're on TikTok, follow Mother. Make sure you follow Doms. Make sure you follow Ams. We're going to have to come back and put our TikTok handles and our other social media handles in the comments. But I had made a post, and it was a video, you know, saying people want to be my friend until they see I'd rather hang out with my husband, or my bio sisters always come first. And I put that in all caps because that's a part of my loyalty to them. Because if they say, sister, I need you, I don't care what I'm doing. I could be making some grits. I will turn the pot off. And I'm going to get on that phone and I'm going to say, sister, what is it? I can be nursing this here baby. And I say, hold on, little baby. My sister need me. And I'm going to get on that phone. I said, sister, what is it? Because that's my loyalty. They're going to always come first. Now, when it comes to my husband, they don't come before my husband because that's my husband. Mm-hmm. But everybody else, my sisters come first. Period. And I'm very unapologetic about it. And, you know, a lot of people that try to be my friend in the past, when they be like, hey, can we hang out? And da-da-da-da. Like, now I'm hanging with my sisters. Or if they want to hang out with me, oh, I invited my sisters. I hope that's okay. And if they say it's not okay, bitch, well, it better be okay. Excuse my language. It better be okay.
Because they're almost here.
Okay, because they're on the way. They already bought their ticket.
Period.
You know, but it was just boiling inside me. I had to get it out. But that's what it is. Like, my sister's gonna always come first. Because at the end of the day, I know I'm going to take priority on my sister's life. Not over their spouse, you know what I'm saying? Not over their children, but over everybody else. Like, if I'm on a call, you know, with a client and I see my sisters buzzing through, excuse me, this is urgent. Because for one, my sisters, they respect my business and they respect my livelihood. So it's got to be urgent. Mm-hmm. My sisters come first. The day my sisters don't come first is the day I might as well not be living. Let's be real. How y'all feel about that?
I feel, y'all know how I feel like that. Well, I'm going to tell you, actually, y'all, the people don't know how I feel about that. I feel the same way.
Let the people know.
Yes, child. Let me explain, child. So it's like my sisters have seen me at my lowest point, like tears, snot, and all that. And the embrace that I felt for my sister's pure love is like they know. And I guess, I don't know, it may be a mixture of loyalty or just the connection, because y'all know how to love me, how y'all know what I need.
It's all that. It's all that.
Yes, it's all that. And so when they see me at my lowest point, they know exactly how to handle me and console me. And I just feel like, and I've told them this, I don't know where I would be if I didn't have them. Like, literally, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. I probably wouldn't accomplish a lot of things that I accomplished, because before I accomplish them, I go to my sisters. I say, hey, y'all, I'm thinking about this. What y'all think? Y'all think you can do it? Like, you know, because I'm always self-doubting, and my sisters help me to not self-doubt. And I'm growing in that. And that's because I talked to both my sisters. And Queen Mother had to get me together just last year because I was just really thinking low of myself. And she had I think you had to have the babies to lead a room chat. She done cussed me out because
in a loving way. Yes, in a loving way.
Yes, of course, in a loving way, because
loving curse words.
Yes, and that's because I know how Lacey is. So I never, when Lacey got to that point with me, I knew it was never malicious. It was not like, oh, Amber, like you just always doing this. No, she was telling me, like, get this out of your head. You're not this. You are this. She would start listing all the things I've done. And I didn't know that she really, really saw me like that. But she's like, girl, yes. What do you mean? It's like, you helped me. Like, what do you think? And so, after talking to her and also Dom, that really helped me to like really wake me up. And so I know I kind of got off here, but going back to what you said, Lacey, but that's why I just don't really feel like I can really do anything. And like, before I get whoever I'm dating, I'm considering marrying, they have to meet my sisters. If they do not get the approval, then I don't know if I could be with them. Period.
Sister, it's something you had said that, because let me tell you, when I was dating my husband, like I had prepped him. I was like, look, you got to meet my sisters. There's no way around it. You have to meet them. And I remember the first time y'all met him, y'all had came to his apartment. Mm-hmm. And I remember when they were in a room and, I had left them alone to, to talk to, my fiance at the time. And I'm just like, I was biting my nails. I was just like, okay. Because what my sisters think, it's high. I think highly of what my sisters think about, my life. You know what I'm saying? And, their opinion means a lot to me. Yeah, people say opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has them. But if you ask me, my sisters' opinions, they're worth more than gold.
Mm-hmm. And we don't hold back either. Like, we will be straight up and be like, hey, like, even like, so say like, if I had a guy and Lacey was talking to him and she didn't like something he said, she will like make it known that she didn't.
And I'm not gonna wait till he left. Excuse me, sir. This is how it came off to me, and I'm bothered by it. That's because of my loyalty to my sister. I'm not trying to be malicious or anything. No. At the end of the day, my sister knows I'm not going anywhere. And whoever's trying to be with her needs to know that I'm not going anywhere. And my opinion, it matters and it counts. No, it's not toxic. It's just what it is. It's the loyalty that we have. This loyalty that you have with your sisters, you can't get it really from anywhere else. Yes, the loyalty that I have with my husband, that's different. The loyalty I have for my sisters.
And we also have this understanding with one another. So it's like, if we state our opinion, we understand where it's coming from. Like,
right, it's not malicious.
Exactly. We're never here to tear each other down. And if my sisters tell me I tear them down, I will apologize. I'm so sorry. That was not my intention. And as a Tauri, I come in hard sometimes. And I don't think I'm coming in hard. But to y'all, it can be. And I'm like, my apologies. Like, I did not mean to. So.
And I can say from that experience that I was talking about, I had to, like I said, I had to really think about what my sister was saying. And then it's like when I talked to you, Amber, about that person, what you thought. And you're like, well, to be honest, I understand where Lacey's coming from. And that was like, the fuck? Because it's not like Amber. Amber will see the best in anybody. Right? She'll find the light. It might be buried under 25th floor, but she'll find that light.
Even if it's just a little flickering candle.
She gonna find the light. Okay? She gonna find the light. And if she can't find the light, that means it's not there.
Yes.
If she can't find the light, that means it's not there in a person.
Period.
And that's for anybody who knows Amber, want to be, be friends with her, or if any dudes out there want to have a relationship with her, if she don't see the light, it's not there. And that's like, it clicked in my head, like, hold on, let me like put a fresh set of eyes on the situation. And, granted, like I said, I spent 8 years, on and off with this person, or knowing this person, and the 6 on and off with them. That's because, like I said, of how I felt about myself. But when the same thing was just reinstated, revealed to me, I was just like, you know what? That's it. No mas for me, no more. I'm not doing this. And as easy as you felt like you could come into my life, guess what? It is far more easier for me to kick you out and to lock that door behind you. I'm going to change addresses, states you won't know.
And I'm gonna burn the bridge so you can't come over.
Okay, and that's the other twin coming out for Dom over there.
Gemini in the house. But we don't play. When the twins get together, it's never good when they team up. You want them at odds. You want them one coaxing the other one back. But when they team up in this joint venture, it's like, nah, we gonna salt the earth so nothing could ever grow.
Huge facts. And one thing I love about our sisterhood is that we're all from different astrological signs. So I'm a Pisces. So I'm like the emotional, let's cry together. Let's just hug and do a cuddle puddle. And then you got Amber, she's a Taurus. She's no. But then she's also, well, let's look at it this way. Let's look at it that way. And then we got Dominique, the Gemini. I just came for the Gemini.
I feel like Gemini's out there. Y'all know why these other signs feel how they feel about us.
Look, I think the salting of the earth explains the Geminis.
Period. Listen, it's the duality for me.
Yes.
I love my Geminis. Don't get it twisted and don't come for me. And also don't come for my outfit because I am hobo chic. And that's just what it is.
I like your overall, sister. I don't know if I said it earlier, but I like your overall. I think it's cute on you.
Happy Women's History Month.
Like a little farmer.
I try.
Yes,
but
happy Women's History Month.
Happy Women's History Month. It's lit. And Dom, she's good for representing the feminine, and she loves her some Audre Lorde. She just loves her notable, Black women in history, and women of other nationalities in history. As we do, we welcome everybody. We just because we're of the African diaspora doesn't mean that we only cater to women and sisters of the African diaspora. We cater to the African diaspora. We cater to the European diaspora, Asian, you name it. Sisterhood is sisterhood at the end of the day.
Right.
Yes. We're all in this together, and being women, we're always already seen as less than anyway. So we need to build each other up and let the world know who we is. We are bosses all day.
Yes. And also I want to say, and we're wrapping up, if you know that the loyalty is not where it needs to be within your sisterhood, start working on it. And the way you start working on it is you start communicating. If your sister hurt you and you just feel like you just can't be that loyal sister that you once were, pull her to the side. And you don't do this over text message. You don't do it over, Messenger. You get on the phone and you hear her voice. Or if you feel comfortable enough to do a video chat, do a video chat. Because that's your sister. If you can't look her in the eyes and tell her, you hurt me, I don't trust you anymore, I can't be loyal to you. You got to be able to do that. And when you're able to do that, you're able to see where your sister's coming from, because what she did or what she said may have not been to hurt you. It may have been to, protect you, but it's possibly how it came off at that time.
Perception's everything. That's why
Right.
communication is key.
Right. And I know we might seem perfect, but we're not perfect at all. There's been times where I had to come to my sister and be like, look, your delivery was just a little jacked up. I didn't like how you had came to me. You could have came and said it this way as opposed
Right.
to just being and da, 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 da. You know, that's something we had to work on throughout the years.
Right. But then that only came that work came from trusting that you gonna have my best interest at heart. That
Right.
you're not gonna be there just to knock me down, take an axe to me, and to tear me into little Dexter-sized pieces. Like you're going to be for real.
I'm sorry, you took me out with the Dexter side. Like it's very small and precise.
Facts. You know, you're gonna protect me, right? Not just my mind, my heart, but my body. Like you literally got my back, and I trust you. Therefore, I can be loyal. So
Mhm.
if you say you have loyalty and trust with somebody, then you should have bomb communication too.
Exactly.
Period.
And then I also, just to add my last little tidbit, that being in a sisterhood, you also have to understand that we all lead our own lives. We all have trauma. We all have pain and issues we're working out within ourselves. So as Sister Lacey said, and as Dominic said, it's just like communication and knowing that they really love you, because you can tell somebody don't love you or not, and they really don't care about you. You can tell. But if a person has consistently showed you that they loved you, and then you perceived or y'all had disagreement, and y'all just not talking, talk to that person, because that love just doesn't die. Anger
Mm-mm.
is what you say, Down. You say anger is just love, you know, an extreme version of love, because
Yeah.
you allow a person to take you that far, you know. So it's just like, also understand we're all human. We're experiencing life together. So you have to be patient as well.
Right. And in that, know that your sister is going to make mistakes, but don't just sit back and let her make that mistake. Warn her, especially if you see like, that don't look good at all. So what if she see you as a hater? You know, deep down in your heart, sis, I ain't got no hell. Listen, we are one of the same. Hating on you is hating on me. That's dumb. I'm looking out for you. But I mean, take how they're feeling with a grain of salt right now, because at the end of the day, when everything that you said comes to fruition, they're going to come back. And don't let it be a I told you so. Just be a I'm here for you. When you're ready to talk about it, let's talk about it. Period. Did anybody want to add on that?
But my saying actually, Amber, was extreme anger is just a manifestation of hurt, extreme hurt.
Mm.
Um, so let that sink in. If someone's extra angry at you, think about how hurt that person got to be to come outside themselves and
Mm-hmm.
to behave that way.
Mm-hmm. And if they're that hurt, how much do they love you though? You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't love you like that, and if I'm not close to you, you can say whatever. I'm like, okay, because how I see it, what do you have in my life? What are you? I don't even see you in my future. So why do I care what you did right here in the present? You know what I'm saying? So, but for my sisters, I'm gonna let them know exactly how I feel, and I really try to keep myself together when I do, because I don't want to, make anything worse. But yeah, we've had our ups and downs, we've had our trying times, but that's what brought us to here, and that's what brought us to this podcast to talk about it. And yeah, I think we're doing pretty great right now. Yes.
And also, I just wanted to add this, and thank you, sister. That's so beautiful. Also, if your sister comes to you and tells you that you hurt her, don't take it personal like that, because you never know, like what you didn't directly like get her to that point. What you did could have possibly been the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, you don't know where she's getting it from, because let's be real, sometimes as humans we can feel like we're burdening others by telling them what's going on. but just know that you can never burden your sister. So if you going through some things, let your sisters know. So if they see you going down a path and they trying to help you, instead of you lashing out at them, in your hurt state, they already know she got a lot going on. So my approach has to be different.
Mm-hmm.
Read the situation. That's one thing I'm working on with our oldest son is read the situation. Like, what does she need right now? Does she need a big sister? Does she need a friend? Does she need a spiritual advisor right now? Does she need a financial advisor right now? Does she need a skincare advisor? Sister Amber, when I had told you had to cut out the dairy,
yeah,
I know that probably made you feel a little hurt inside because you love the cheese.
I sure do. Girl, I sure do.
But because she knew that I had her best interest at heart, and she knew that I wanted to see her clear skin. Sister, shut up! Get up to the camera. Her skin didn't always look like this. No. But because of my loyalty to her, and because I knew that her skin troubles were affecting her self-esteem, I said, there's got to be a different way. So what I get to do when I got to researching, and while I was figuring out my daughter's skincare routine, because she has some skincare issues, sister, this might be what it is that's causing you this pain. You know what I'm saying? So read the situation and know what your sister needs at that time. She might not always need tough love. Especially, especially if she's known for making not so good decisions, and tough love is what you are used to giving her. Sometimes she might not need that tough love. Sometimes she might need some nurturing. Mm-hmm. Did anybody want to add anything?
I just add that's something we definitely, between three of us, had to realize one another. Like, I had one sister who always came to this way, another sister always came to another way. And it's just like, bruh, I don't need this all the time. And that took for me having to tell them this. And they were like, okay. And then that's how, and that's how we really developed. Like, reading each other and just coming at different angles because, we're just human. But that's yeah, that's it. We're humans with the same tattoos.
Facts.
Right. But, like you said, Amber, we're human. And like once I understood how my approach was coming off towards you, what did I do?
You changed it.
I apologized first.
I'm sorry. She apologized.
And then I changed it. But you know what? Yes. But that's how you know my apology was sincere, because there was action behind it. And that's one thing, right? You can say that you're forgiving, but if you don't put no action behind it, it's not forgiveness. So just like I had to learn how to forgive myself, I had to put action behind it. And that's why I say, because all that action I done put into me, I'm not the same person I was. Heck, I'm not even the same person I was yesterday.
Mm-hmm. All facts.
Amen. Say that. Okay. Don't make you get up here and start shouting.
Okay.
Okay, stop it.
Now, y'all know we was raised Pentecostal. We good for that. Okay. I heard somebody say that on the live on TikTok just yesterday that no, don't nobody read me because I ain't say this. This man was saying. He said Kojic is like Target, and he said apostolic is like Kroger. I ain't say that, but he said when it came to shouting, when it came to fashion, that's the difference.
Now, listen, that's a whole nother episode. Being raised in Pentecostal Church of God in Christ.
Oh, the church.
That's a really good episode because we could talk about a lot of different things.
We said that, so like we definitely do that. We have so many stories about the different churches we've been to.
And also church hurt.
Ooh.
I was talking to Dominic last week. I had to get a pastor together before.
Ooh, see? But that's another topic for another episode.
The pastor. I hope y'all came on the hell, child, but he wasn't right.
Child. Y'all have to excuse my fan. This here ring light. It's a little too hot for this little baby. He's a little warm body. But in our closing, everybody stand up straight, get together. If you haven't seen Color Purple, you're not going to know where this comes from. But if you've seen Color Purple, you know exactly where this comes from. And this is how we're going to end out our podcast live segments and our recorded segments here on out. So thank you for joining us for another live recording of the Infinite Sisterhood Podcast. And until next time, you and me apart. Me and you have one heart. My key, da. Good evening, y'all. Peace.
Peace. See y'all.